We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Perspectives Corner. I am your host, Rhona Bennett. What's up? What's going on? It is a pleasure to be back in the studio. I got Richard back behind the boards. What's up, Richard? He wasn't feeling so great last week. Yeah, clap for yourself. Show some love. He wasn't feeling so great last week, but I had a wonderful fill-in. Ness, shout out to Ness. It was an incredible show. Who caught it? Last week, we talked about the building blocks of success. How bad do you want it? And when I tell you, I was able to find some of the most dynamic motivational speakers to bless us with some incredible information to take our living to the next level. I mean it. We listened to Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, one of my favorites, and a newbie but so powerful, Eric Thomas. If you missed the show, check it out at LATalkLive.com. You can go to my show, my show page, Perspectives Corner, and check out the latest show. You can find me on Ustream. I was even able to upload it onto my channel on YouTube. So definitely check out the show. It is packed with some incredible information for you. Tonight, I have two beautiful, educated, dynamic women in studio with me to talk about health, beauty, and fitness. Miss Shamika, the MD, is in the house. We're going to turn her microphone up. Don't be too shy. And Miss Jennifer Haddad, MTP, she's going to tell us what that's all about. Yes, Jennifer has visited the show before. Jennifer, what show did you do? You did the first health show. Did you come back? You came back with Marnie.
The Cancer, Sexuality, and Intimacy program.
This is Jennifer's third time on Perspectives Corner. Third time's a charm. She's going to be talking about her beauty food club. And I know everybody wants to know, what can I eat to get more cute? But it's even more than that, because this is like eating the good stuff so that we shine from within. And that can only result in outside beauty. So, and Shamika is also, you trained in internal medicine. You have your medical license, but you have an emphasis now in holistic healing. So I want to find out what inspired the transition for you to go into this aspect of healing. I mean, because you came from westernized medicine and that institution of learning, yes? Yes. Very powerful information that's going to come out tonight. If you have any questions for these ladies, because they are filled with a wealth of information, don't be afraid to hit me up at 323-247-7443. 323-247-7443. Shout out to the Perspectives Corner fans in the house. I know my folks are there, so I'm sending some love your direction. And what are we gonna play tonight? Surprise me? Okay, we're gonna start the show off with some music. You know I love to set the tone. And when we come back, we'll be talking to these lovely ladies.
About you, ain't that messed up? Boy, this world's a trip. Either they keeping you down or they pulling you down. Clip your wings so you can tail spin and hit the ground. We all here together on this spinning rock, trying to make some sense of this life we got. And I ain't met a man yet that got all the answers. And I ain't been nowhere yet where they not fighting cancer. I seen a good prison system that gives second chances. What's the hate for? What's the war for? Well, ask Wall Street. It's probably why they stocks soar. I'm just a dreamer, you know, John Lennon. But what do I know? My head stays spinning. A world full of hunger where people can't make it. They say we ain't got it. Man versus who can waste it.
I'm moving and I won't look back. No. I'ma get what's for me and get where I need to be. nothing get me off track. No, yeah, it's a part of my story. No struggle, no glory.
The day I was born with two arms where they try to fit in. I refuse to conform. Yes, life, but there's more. Let me show you this story. I struggled so far to cover up these scars. The devil is so real. I feel him at work. Feel him breathing, it's burning my shirt. Both at one time, the gift and the curse. For known since way back to go on my mom's purse. Lessons I've learned, the heads that I've turned. It's not their concern. Watch as they burn. I rise to the top. None of us can stop. We own the whole block. Doors is unlocked. While all these jobs drop, they claim they saw cops, but we saw nothing, so we don't stop. Coolest freeze pops, the coldest 3 knocks. The drugs and bull stop. First I heard pop. Yeah,
I'm moving and I won't look back. No, I'ma get what's for me and get where I need to be. Won't let nothing get me off track. No, yeah, it's a part of my story. No struggle, no glory.
Yes, indeed. It is something fantastic opportunity to give back to the people's children. Champion, they all stars in the making. Heroes of tomorrow, future rearranging. No holds barred, got life in a chokehold. Blasted through walls, leaping over all obstacles. Green like gold, negative to rear view. Matter of fact, thanks for letting me share rhythm with you. For the chance to experience something genuine. Full count, knife in and grand slam the last pitch. Fireworks, crowd cheers, we all yell victory. Reflection in the mirror says no one's better than me. That's the attitude that you must have. Any negativity, leave it in the past. Direction in front of you should always be perfection. Stay humble at all times and thankful for the blessings.
I'm moving and I won't look back.
What you know about it? Okay, Shamika's in here like, who is this? This is really good. I'm like, I know! For those of you who don't know who you're listening to, this is an independent artist that I was able to feature last year on the show. And it's a group of them, so I don't even know if they have a specific name. But McKill, shout out to McKill for sending me this track because I love it.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Okay, welcome back to Perspectives Corner. Tonight we are talking about health, fitness, and beauty. And if you have any questions for these ladies that are sitting at the table with me tonight, do not hesitate to give us a call, 323-247-7443. Ms. Shamika, the MD, she was going to talk about, or is going to talk about, fatigue.
Yes.
The stress of life, you know, via your job, kids, lack of sleep, everything that can cause stress, attack or what drain the adrenals, and what can we do to counter that? Okay, but let me give some information about her because I'm very proud of her accomplishments. So let me read. I have to. Hold on, because this girl is the bomb. Shamika, MD, is a preventative medicine physician trained in public health and nutrition. She is also educated in Ayurvedic and homeopathic health. She focuses on natural remedies using herbs and foods to help heal health conditions. She was born in Colombo, Sri Lanka. So cool. She travels around the world learning about the benefits of plants and seeds on our bodies. On her travels and while doing more research, she's realized that some plants are dramatically better than others for healthy, beautiful skin. Remind me to ask you about that because I want to know.
Okay.
The plants and seeds used in her products, the bomb. Not to say, she said, Rhona, I'm not even trying to like promote my products right now because I want them to know that I just came here with great information. So I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to do it for you. Her stuff is amazing and I'm promoting it. This is not Shamika. The plants and seeds used in her products are full of antioxidants that help prevent inflammation, improve immune function, and give vibrant skin and support overall health and wellness. Shamika identifies the benefits in these natural plants and combines it with science for wonderfully effective care. You completed your internal medicine internship at the Atlanta Medical Center. You received your Master's of Public Health from the University of Southern California with an emphasis in nutrition. And you completed your postdoctoral fellowship in preventative medicine at Emory University School of Medicine. She was involved with the creation of Health Sciences Online, where she worked with the CDC, World Bank, WHO, these are all the acronyms, WHO, WMA, and ACPM. Her areas of expertise are fitness, nutrition, pregnancy, sexual health, Ayurvedic medicine. These ladies have a lot in common. Herbal medicine, preventative medicine, environmental health, occupational health, health and wellness, and natural skincare. You go, Shamika.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, that takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and focus to get through medical school and then to continue with this kind of passion towards everything that you're doing. I mean, you're not just in the medical field. You've expanded yourself in what you're doing.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
So what made you kind of make the transition from the westernized medicine world into the holistic world?
Well, during my residency training, internal medicine in Atlanta, I was working at the ICU, and every day I would go and see the same patients, and they were patients that weren't very old, 40s, 50s, early 60s, hooked up to machines, a lot of medicines in them, can't breathe on their own. And when I would go back and look at their charts, I would flip back and I would see it was something that could have been prevented. A behavioral choice, maybe it's something about smoking, something about alcohol, something about the foods they were eating. So many of the people in the ICU, it could have been prevented. So that's what led me to study further preventive medicine, because I was more interested in preventing, because these young people are missing out on so many years of life. Why should they be stuck in the hospital? So that's what pursued me to do preventive medicine. And then I've always been into herbs and foods. So it was natural that I progressed that way. And I've seen so many success stories with foods and herbs that I just naturally go that way.
Share with me some of those success stories, can you?
It's just people with very what's known as end stage diseases. Like it's diseases that you think you cannot go forward. It's the end. You're going to be confined to living a certain way. And when they actually do things in a natural way, just maybe eat healthy and exercise, they improve. So I've seen it work when maybe Western medicine might say you have no hope. I've seen the hope happen and change.
I heard that. We have a caller on the line. You're listening to Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett. Who's there?
Hi, this is Shakim. How are you?
Shakim. This is another broadcaster at LA Talk Live. What's up, brother? He has a show on Fridays called The Shock Factor. You got to check him out.
I was just watching you, incredible lady, talking about something really incredible that we really need to talk about. But I wanted to ask the doctor: is she familiar with chemtrails and the particles that they're spraying? That's making people, it seems more and more, it's flu virus, that's been all this kind of stuff. So I was just wondering, have the medical field been calculated by any chance?
Has the medical field been what? The phone's kind of cut. Chemtrails. Are you familiar with chemtrails?
I'm familiar with chemtrails, and the question is,
what's it?
Is the medical field, in your opinion, taking that in account for all the sicknesses that are happening?
I don't think so. I don't think people want to admit what is happening. I don't think they want to take any responsibility for that.
I heard that. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Very interesting because, that's, I guess, some of the issues that people have with westernized medicine. We're more into the coping mechanisms of the after effects of the disease, which you're saying,
fixing the problem, fixing and not preventing.
Exactly. So and there's more money in that.
Yeah.
So, what would make them want to acknowledge something like the chemtrails that I'm not as familiar with, but I'm assuming that it's some kind of chemical that is being put in the foods or on the foods that's
the air.
It's in the air.
So,
Got it.
I mean, if I could just say one thing about that, there's a lot of environmental stuff that we are exposed to that is harmful that a lot of people aren't even aware of, and we don't have much control over it on a grand scale, right? So you just gotta educate yourself so that you can make choices in your life that are going to have a more positive impact on yourself, whether it's the types of foods that you're going to eat or how you're going to wash your fruits and vegetables or, different things like that so that you're at least doing your part for yourself.
Nice. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Jennifer Haddad since she has chimed in so wonderfully. Jennifer Haddad, MTP, is a health and wellness coach, sex health educator, and energy healer. She provides personal health coaching, nutrition support, and education to individuals and groups. She supports people in learning to create a balanced, healthy, active lifestyle. She runs the outreach and education program at the Women's Health Care Clinic at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center, where she provides over 200 health education workshops each year. She completed her graduate degree in transpersonal psychology and health and wellness. She recently launched a blog and healthy cooking classes entitled The Beauty Food Club, which we're going to talk about later, and is currently working on creating a healthy whole foods cookbook. Congratulations. You know, I was excited when I read that. I was like, go, Jen. Jennifer approaches health as a spiritual practice. She believes in the body's natural ability for self-healing and has participated in her own challenging journey of creating health and balance through a variety of modalities, including nutrition, which you're going to talk about because you have definitely, triumphed over some cool stuff right there. She believes that nutrition is our medicine. Through proper nutrition, love, and energetic balance, the most profound healing experiences can occur. Welcome to the show. So, yeah, thank you for chiming in with that. Shamika, what are you passionate about? Where does your passion lie in life?
Helping improve conditions.
Yeah?
Yeah. In whatever form.
Where did this come from? I mean, what made you want to go to medical school? Did it start out as something that you wanted to do, or this has just grown on you and become something else?
My father is in the same field.
Mm-hmm.
He's an endocrinologist, so it was him that even introduced me to the world of medicine. But as I studied it more and nutrition more, I latched on more to the nutrition natural aspect of it.
Okay, got it. And you, Jen, your passion?
I love empowering people to realize their power and their control and what inspires them so that they can be greater and better and grow into who they are, who they're meant to be.
I saw on your Facebook page that you said somebody tried to debate you, and the response you came with was like, pow. Can you share with us what you said and what, I guess, the exchange that you had with this person?
What happened?
This guy is so excited because he is back on his fitness track. He's been pigging out on Captain Crunch and red velvet cakes, and then I see him at the gym. Man, I had 3 boxes of Captain Crunch this week. I need to lose the 7-8 pounds. So he's all excited that he's burning 1,000 calories at the gym and eating 1 time a day, like having a protein shake or a piece of bread, and he thinks that that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So I just gently said, that may not be the healthiest way. And we just kind of got into an exchange. And he's like, trust me, I got this. If it don't mind, I don't matter. Or if mind over matter. If I don't mind, it don't matter. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, nutrition is overrated. At that point, he was so close. I was like, okay, good luck to you. See you later. I was just thinking how many people think that way that I was so surprised that he's a fit guy. He works out all the time, and he has
But nutrition is overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people feel that way because it's one of those, you don't see the instant result of what you eat, not instantaneously.
Yeah. Right.
So they think they're eating all this food and it's not doing anything, but it does catch up later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know who I thought was a wonderful example of this particular thing that we're talking about? Are you familiar with the lady that's in Miami, 70 years old? What is her name? I featured her in the beginning when I was doing the detox. I said, let her inspire you. I can't remember her name at this particular moment. Annette Larkins.
Yeah,
that's
I know
her name.
You're talking about.
Annette Larkins is 70 years old. She lives in Miami. The news station down there did a special on her because she literally has found the fountain of youth. This lady looks like she's 40, and that's no exaggeration. Have you seen her? She looks amazing. She grows now. I don't know if everybody can do this because I was like, wow, that must take up a lot of time to grow your own food, to juice. I mean, it's got to consume a lot of your time, if not your entire life, to eat like this and to maintain this type of lifestyle. But talk about catching up with you. Her husband, did you see her husband?
Yes. Drastic difference.
Completely. I mean, some people, she said that they have mistaken her for his granddaughter, but I definitely would have at least said she could have been his daughter.
Wow.
That's the difference. And she said she started her journey 27 years ago. He works in the meat industry. And I guess she just got turned off from watching that go down in the meat industry, and he continued to eat meat. She decided to go vegetarian, and then she went vegan raw, and she's been that for 27 years. And this lady has reversed the clock.
Yeah.
But if you look at them as a couple, now you'll see what you guys are talking about when it says this stuff catches up with you. You may not see it in the moment, but these choices accumulate, and they will breed a result at the end of the day. And she, to me, is a living, breathing example of, if you take care of yourself, if you make conscious choices to eat well, you will see some amazing results later in life.
Yeah.
Your quality of life will be up here, as opposed to where he's taking medicines, he was overweight, he wasn't in the best shape, everything. It was like night and day.
Yeah, really night and day. It was amazing, actually.
It was.
See. But I think he regrets it a little bit. Like, he wishes, when I watched the little episode on it, I think he wishes that he did it, but it's a lot of work still to eat healthy, but it's worth it.
So let me ask you this, because that's what a lot of people are probably thinking. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. I'm like writing a book right now that's like, I'm going to help people find a way to eat healthy for less, because, that's what I think I don't want to say a myth, because a lot of the times where unless you know where to go, it can be very expensive. But that's the cloud that kind of hangs around eating healthy. It's going to be too expensive, and I don't know. So what are some of the ways that people can transition into healthier eating that you think you can tell them and help them out with? Or healthier living, even.
Well, you can't even get there unless you're willing to make the commitment and all the stuff that comes with the commitment, because it is a commitment. It is a daily practice.
Very true. So
that's the first thing. When you get to that point and you are willing, it's kind of like you it's worth it, just like you said. So you're willing to pay a little bit more, or spend an extra hour in the kitchen, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people that work around that, and there's a lot of quick fixes that you can do that are healthy and pure foods that you can do. It's not, you don't have to be a gourmet cook to eat healthy. And so I think the easiest way to go about it is integrate one thing, maybe on a weekly basis, one new thing, whether it's add one more vegetable, or cook one extra meal, or just think of some little baby steps and tackle one at a time. And if you do one new thing a week, by the month, you've integrated 4 new habits. And slowly, instead of saying, I got to stop doing this and stop doing that, just add in. And slowly the bad habits weed themselves out. So you're not so much giving up everything that you love, or completely changing your lifestyle.
Yeah, which can be difficult for some people. Do you have any suggestions for that as well?
I completely agree. It needs to be done in a stepwise manner. Sometimes people get really excited and say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm going to go healthy, and then they try to completely change their life around, but then it fails. So I think it's perfect to just do little changes at a time.
Yeah.
And with that, I always say be gentle with yourself, because you're not going to be perfect at it, and we're not striving for perfection. We're striving for long-lasting results and health. So just be gentle, and it's one day at a time. And if you fall off and you pig out on something that you shouldn't, don't self-loathe in it and then give up and then eat unhealthy for the next month. Just next day start over, start fresh.
Right.
And I think that's something that all of us do. I was definitely guilty of that, and that's part of the process, is learning to just press restart faster.
Yes.
And sooner.
How about that? I like that idea. Press restart faster.
Yeah, that is nice.
I like that idea.
And also another thing is, over time you'll find that it actually becomes cheaper to eat healthier.
Yeah.
It does. You actually tend to eat more at home because you don't like the food out. So that saves money. And then when you find where you can get organic things cheaper, like you said, you have to do the research to find where to go, but it actually ends up a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I don't know if people know, because once if you stop buying the meat, you know what I mean? I didn't even realize it until I stopped, and then I went back and I'm looking at prices, and I'm like, wow, it's actually kind of more expensive to, afford. I don't know. Yeah. So, okay. Fatigue.
Yes. I wanted to talk about fatigue because fatigue and stress, about 2/3 of everyone here in America is flooded with fatigue and stress. There's work, there's family, there's the kids, there's bills, there's social events. Everyone is filled with fatigue and stress. And I wanted to kind of explain the physiology behind stress, how it originates from our body, and what we can do to control our own body to prevent the stress.
All ears.
Okay, so most of the stress response originates from the gland in our body called the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands they sit on top of each kidney. It's about the size of a grape. And it sits there and it actually does quite a lot of work releasing hormones. The inside of the adrenals secrete norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. The outside secretes more hormones, including cortisol. Cortisol is the most important hormone in the stress response. So usually if you're just walking around and say someone starts chasing you, like coming after you and you need to run, then the body secretes cortisol from the adrenals to help you deal with that condition. And then you relax and then it comes back down. Or say you have to memorize a phone number really quickly. That's also cortisol. So anytime you need something really sudden, the cortisol level comes up, deals with it, and then our bodies are able to bring it back down.
Okay.
But what's happening is nowadays in the really fast-paced life, we have so many stresses stressing us out that it's constantly being bombarded, our adrenals. So it's constantly being affected, and the cortisol keeps coming out. It can't balance itself. Okay. It's out of whack, basically, our adrenals. And when our adrenals are out of whack, the cortisol levels are kind of crazy. They're out there, and they can cause other conditions. Like cortisol is responsible for insulin, glucose, thyroid, immunity. So it controls a lot of bodily processes. Yeah. So if it's off, our bodies can be off. So if you think about it, most complaints people have, tired, headaches, gaining weight, sometimes you can actually see it refers back to the stress that we have in our bodies. So what we can do is try to reduce the stress. Because it's not just, people take it sometimes lightly, like, okay, it's stress, I'll just handle it. Mm-hmm. But it's actually very serious and it really affects our bodies and can be expressed as disease.
Yeah.
So it's just important to understand that it's a real physical process happening. And it's better to deal with it and decrease the stress so you can prevent problems in the future.
Okay, listening.
Yeah, because it keeps building and building up. So if you can stop it now, in the future, you can have a healthier, more optimum working body. Mm-hmm. And currently, you can also take care of those headaches and fatigue and tiredness that happen.
So then when we come off break, I want you to tell us a few of the things that people can do to bring the stress levels down and to keep a balance within their lives. Okay, awesome. So we'll be right back, you guys. You've been listening to Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett.
Ever since Janet was in control, I had a spark in me that continues to grow. I knew that I was meant to tell and show. There was music in me. And as I loved, Janet took me on an escapade. And Paula promised me a brand new day. And purple rained on a raspberry parade. Those were the days. Oh, I wanted nothing more when I was a teen. A song and video on that magic screen. I wouldn't have it any other way. I close my eyes and say, I wanna be on MTV. I say I wanted to be on MTV. Let me hear you say,
Host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey everybody, it's Miss R&B, and I'm inviting you to come and hang with me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. PST for Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett on America Talk Live. Hear and see interviews and live performances from some of our favorite celebrities and personalities in entertainment, sports, business, and the wellness industries. We're getting lifted and we're going deep, talking about life and empowering the champion in us all. See you there.
Hi, this is Dawn Christie inviting you to join me every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific, for my all-new show, The Dawn Christie Show. Join me as I discuss love, spiritual readings, your purpose, why am I born, what am I here to do. So don't forget to tune in The Dawn Christie Show at 1 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on LA Talk Live. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Julie Orlov, inviting you to join us every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our all-new show, Pathways to Love. Join us as we talk about love and relationships and how you can create the relationships you desire. So don't forget to tune in to Pathways to Love every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio, or watch and listen directly at LATalkLive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Romy Klinger.
This is Rose Garcia.
And we are inviting you to join us for the Romy and Rose Show every Friday at 4 p.m. Tune in for the Romy and Rose Show. We're going to be talking about pop culture, dating, business 101, what's ratchet, what's not ratchet, and music and so much more. So don't forget, tune in to the Romy and Rose Show. About to get real.
Exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream.tv. Reality show handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
We're real talk.
Because my mind is wealthy. Wealthy.
The billionaire PA.
Bring my dreams into existence.
Say it.
Even if I was blind, I could have told you my future was bright. Even in a time when me and my mama stayed in fights, and we had no lights, from the bottom to the top, and I ain't even had no money for that flight. Abused and confused, the whole world told me I would lose. I thought love was the single most important thing I needed, until I had to double my faith.
Tell me where does a heart go?
This is the Billionaire PA, a young brother that's super motivational and inspirational. You can find him. Is it wealthyminds.com? Wealthyminds.com. So I am sitting here. You're listening to Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett. I am talking to two beautiful, educated, fiery women about fitness, health, and beauty. Shamika was just talking to us about fatigue and ways that we can reduce fatigue that can help out with reducing stress.
Yes.
So how do we reduce fatigue?
Reducing fatigue is actually pretty easy. There's basically three things that you have to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
1, look at what you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
2, look at how much you're sleeping. And 3, look at how much you're exercising.
Simple.
Hello, right.
It seems simple. So what you're eating, you have to look at what you're eating in the morning. Because a lot of people reach for those sugary cereals or the caramel latte on the way to work.
Or nothing.
Or muffins, or nothing. Yes.
Or nothing, huh? Okay.
When you start with the sugary stuff, it increases your energy for 1 or 2 hours, but then it brings you down, and the rest of the day your body's trying to come back up. So it's such a waste of your body's just trying to get its energy up, and causes fatigue, which obviously affects every level of your day, and it causes you to be more stressed, more irritable. So if you just start your day off right with something with protein, start the day with protein, fiber.
What kind of protein would you say?
You can get it in the form of oatmeal and nuts.
Okay.
That's like a great breakfast because you have fiber and protein. If you find a good natural protein shake, if you have to be on the go, that's okay. It's still better than having a sugary breakfast. So starting the day off right, and even throughout the day, instead of reaching for the M&Ms, just carry, nuts. Like, yes, we have it over here.
Some almonds. I always munch on some almonds.
Yeah, it's perfect to munch on those, like fiber and nuts, just to keep you going. Again, otherwise during the day, if you reach for the sugar, it does the same thing, and it causes fatigue.
And you know what's interesting is I think a lot of us, I know I did, came up on eat a big breakfast. But what we don't know is that can actually work against you because the body's using so much energy to break that food down that you're taken away from mental clarity to do that. You're taken away from just more of a higher vibration because that food is sitting in the body and it wants to use what it can and eliminate. But if you're putting in a lot of heavy stuff, and then a lot of sugars within that heavy stuff on top of it, or a lot of salts, the body is on sensory overload trying to process what you just put in there, and it's not really, it's actually working against you probably.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So that's with the food. With the sleep, we all know we're supposed to get more sleep, but it's actually very important. And sometimes we're so busy doing this and that, so we skimp, maybe we lose a couple hours here and there, but it does add up. And the more or less sleep you have, the more drowsy. If you just have maybe 5 hours of sleep a night or even 6, ideally it should be 7, at least 7.
Yeah.
If you get less than that, it adds up and you get drowsy and you feel fatigued. So even though it seems like something easy to do, so many people aren't sleeping enough. But it's very important to sleep. And that is when your body actually rests, rejuvenates, builds.
Yeah.
So it just sounds so easy, but it's something to really pay attention to, and it will help the fatigue because you're rested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The next thing is exercise. If you feel fatigued, so you think it's counterproductive to exercise because you're tired and you don't want to exercise. But if you feel fatigued, it is best to exercise because it releases endorphins and it helps actually boost your energy. Yeah. So if you get into a regular exercise routine, even 4 days a week, even 30 minutes, even if it's a walk outside, a walk during lunch, all that will help with fatigue. Even though it seems like it won't, it really does on a physiological basis. It helps you boost energy.
Nice.
So just those 3 things, everyone, 2/3 of America are walking around with this. You can just do these 3 simple things and we'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
When you do all 3 together.
Get that together. I don't know how simple that is. It sounds simple, but man, it takes some discipline to actually, pull it off.
For those of you who do feel fatigued, if you work on these for about 6 weeks, you will notice a difference.
Yeah.
Like you will feel more energetic, and it will be truthfully done, not done by some, medicine or pill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And you know what? I wanted to share with people a really quick story about adrenals. Interestingly enough, I went to a naturopathic doctor years ago. And some of my listeners might know because I shared this on an Ask Grow video. But I remember I had an argument the morning before going into the office. And she was going to take a sample of my blood because I was detoxing or whatever. And she wanted to see how things were moving out and whatever. And all she did was take a drop. It's amazing what's in a drop of blood. Mm-hmm. Like your whole story is in a drop of blood. I was like, whoa. So she takes a drop of my blood. She puts it on one of those Petri dishes and she puts it under the microscope. And she sees and I saw it too. It was like these little brown explosions in my blood. And I was like, she was like, what did you do this morning? And I was like, well, I had an argument this morning. She's like, well, there's your argument. And that is the first time that it became real to me that stress can kill. Because I was like, it actually showed up in my blood that I had an argument. Like, you can see that if you put your body under a certain amount of stress, and if you're in a constant state of anger or rage or anything that's like got your adrenals firing off on a regular basis, but under like a stressful way to do it, this is what your blood can look like. Mm-hmm. That was like a wake up call for me.
Yeah. The scary thing about that is some people are so sensitive that it'll be an immediate response.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's people who are not sensitive, who it's years and years and years of that accumulation, and then they're ending up with a really serious physical manifestation of whatever that energy or emotion was. Yeah.
So it can be very important to learn to manage and balance your emotional self and your physical self and your spirit. I mean, all of this stuff can really show up in the body. You know, people say that, but when you see it with your own eyes, that it drove it home for me.
Yeah, it's very real. I mean, there's a physical component to it.
Yeah.
It's not just an emotional thing that just
doesn't affect you or wow.
So then did you go back again another time and see your blood without the bursts in it?
I did, because I had seen my blood before.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw them, I saw the difference between, she was like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, let me see. Let me see. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. So, Jennifer, your story, because I know you dealt with, you know the name of the condition now, right? Mm-hmm. It's a very rare condition though, right? How do you feel nutrition helped you with this?
So first let me explain what it is. So it was November I'm losing track of how long ago it was that I was diagnosed. I want to say 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think this November will be, no, I'm not claiming that. It's done. It's done now. But
I hear you.
2 years ago, all of a sudden I just started getting red, itchy, inflamed, blotchy spots all over my body. And when I finally went to the doctor, I realized that it was chronic hives. Well, it was hives. What made it chronic was it never went away. Okay. So 2 years later, still happening. And I guess what happens from that chronic inflammation and the stress that that has on the body, and hives are sort of like allergies. So there's a lot of histamines that the body is releasing. So that alone can be stress, right? Mm-hmm. What happened was it was like a domino effect in my body, and all these other things in my body were impacted. My immune system became extremely hyperactive. Like I would have just flare-ups. I'd have one day where the hives would break out and then everything would go wrong. Like I looked like they thought I had HIV. I looked like an HIV patient at times.
Really?
Because it was like 5 different things that I had to deal with at once. So the other part of that with the chronic inflammation is angioedema, which is swelling, severe swelling. And for me, it was mostly hands, feet, lips, face. Thank God my tongue and throat never swelled up, so I never had it was never life-threatening, but it was extremely painful. Obviously not pretty if your whole face is swelled up. And very, very uncomfortable, and it would take about a week for all the swelling to go down, tear the skin. I have hyperpigmentation on my skin, which actually I want to talk to you about. Still trying to work on healing that, but I went to doctor after doctor. I probably saw 5 different allergists, immunologists, endocrinologists, all kinds of doctors. I did all the natural healing approaches that I could possibly pay for and access, and nothing helped. And Western medicine just said, you just got to deal with it. I mean, a lot of people tend to deal with it for 5 years. Some people have it for the rest of their life.
Wow.
There's nothing that we could really do, and my body was not responding to the medications. So I had to take it on myself to heal it, because I believe that we can heal just about anything, and I didn't want to just give in and say, okay, I got to deal with this for the rest of my life. So I started with working on the body through nutrition, because that seems to be a really easy tool to ground the body. And then, of course, I had to work on the energy and the relationships and the emotions and the stress, and just kind of create balance in my life.
Yeah.
And what I would notice is that stress buildup would start the triggers that would create the whole big flare up. So once I really paid attention, connected with my body, I would be able to recognize when I was experiencing those triggers, but at that point you can't reverse it. Like it would just, that's it. So it was like a lesson, like next time don't get to that point. Learn how to manage the stress from now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stress.
So my first approach to food was eat the foods that are going to help build immunity and keep my body strong to deal with the stress better.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I started. And then, of course, starting to eliminate the foods that cause inflammation in the body as well.
Do you know which ones those were for you?
The biggest one and the biggest challenge is sugar. I'm sure that's everybody's biggest challenge. Sugar's really, really hard to
eliminate.
Get away from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still working on it, but I've definitely made dramatic improvements in reducing the sugar. And I'm not talking about sugar in the mango and the watermelon sitting here. I'm talking about refined
sugar.
Yeah,
sugar
which is in a lot of foods. So, so that's kind of where I started. Also from the last show that we did with Thomas Tadlock and Terry Clark, and I don't remember the other man's name.
Damon Valley.
Yes. That's when I learned that dairy creates a lot of inflammation. So I slowly started cutting that out, and I officially cut that out about 3 months ago. So
dairy, the great dairy.
Yeah.
So you've been seeing a lot of improvements now that you've pulled some of these things or cut back on them tremendously in your diet.
Yeah, I really started last year. Like the whole span of 2012 was the healing. Like the hives got less and less. I have not had an episode of inflammation since December of 2011. I am keeping track because it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's awesome.
I saw my doctor this summer, and he's like, really? This is you? Like, he was in shock. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
He's like, do you have any hives now? I'm like, nope. When was your last one? December of 2012. He's like, you're one of my success stories because I got patients coming in here like as bad as you were. So I'm like, you have to trust your body and trust that it knows how to heal itself, and then act on that. Help your body, support your body, because your body's supporting you. It wants to heal. And if Western medicine says sorry, you can do it. There's other things that you can do. Yeah. I believe there's something you need to learn, something you need to take on, or something you need to release. Yeah.
Beautiful. Congratulations on your forward movement with that.
Thank you.
You were going to tell us about foods that you could eat to help. Was it reducing stress?
Yes.
What foods?
Yes, there are several foods you can take to counteract stress and anxiety, and it actually works in our bodies physiologically as well. I'll mention a few of them that are high on the list. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is actually high in flavonoids, and flavonoids help to relax you. They actually help to relax. You can also find flavonoids in chamomile tea.
Okay.
But dark chocolate also has another property in it that helps you to increase your mood. It's another property of it. So it's a very good anti-stress food. The darker, the better. It's always good to get 70% and higher to get the effects.
70% and higher, dark chocolate. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one. Another one is oatmeal. Oatmeal actually helps to increase dopamine in our bodies, and dopamine helps you to feel good.
I didn't know that.
Dopamine, yes, oatmeal, and bananas do that too, actually.
Awesome.
There's spinach, and any green leafy vegetable is high in magnesium. Magnesium also helps to lift the mood and helps to relax. So anything green and leafy is healthy for that reason, as well as all the other benefits from it.
Yeah.
Blueberries, we all know the benefits of blueberries. Blueberries are extremely high in antioxidants that directly counteract cortisol, the hormone that we were speaking about before. So it's like a direct antioxidant to it. And any fruit that's very high in antioxidants is good for the stress response.
Yeah.
And walnuts. Walnuts are very healthy. They decrease the blood pressure. And they're also very high in vitamins B and E, which are good for energy as well. So these are just a few of the foods that you can keep in mind.
Yeah.
They actually do work. They're not just, there's actually substances and properties of these foods that work in our bodies to counteract all the bad stuff that's happening with the cortisol and the stress. So it's pretty amazing that, foods really do heal.
Yeah, and give you balance. And it sounds like everything you just mentioned, speaking of the Beauty Food Club, could be eaten for beauty.
Looks
right?
like it.
Yeah. Yes.
Are there any other foods that you would like to suggest when it comes to like the beauty?
The biggest thing is the greens. That's it for me. Like that's number one.
Yeah.
Leafy greens, preferably raw, of course, but those just work miracles in your body.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I learned some stuff tonight. Hey. So who are your role models? Who do you think is fabulous or walking around with some great information that you would suggest that we pay attention to, or just that has inspired you? on your walk?
Oh gosh, there's so many people because I tend to learn something from everyone.
Okay.
Like everything I read or even who I talk to, I pick up something. So I can't just think of it off the top of my head.
She's just, all right. Jen, do you have any, champions out there that you're like, yes, they inspire you or motivate you, or you have some role models out there, especially when it comes to fitness and nutrition, because I know that that's very heavy for you.
Yeah, there's a lot. I want to say there's a lot. The first person that came to my mind when you said that was a woman named Mimi Kirk, who was the grandmother of my brother's girlfriend. I think she's 73 now. She is, you can look her up online. She is the world's sexiest vegetarian. She's been a vegan for years. She has a raw food cookbook that came out a year or two ago, and she traveled the world, and she's in training now to be a raw chef.
Wow.
And
73.
She's amazing. And she's got a little garden, and she just goes around and spreads the word and educates people. And when I was going through my process, she was probably the first person I really connected with about the power of plants and how that can accelerate my healing.
Mimi Kirk.
Mimi Kirk, yes.
Is it K-U-R?
K-I-R-K.
K-I-R-K.
Yeah.
Do we still have a caller on the line? You're listening to Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett. Who's there?
What's up?
Trey. You just came, but how you go, what's up? What's going on? I didn't think you were going to be able to tune in tonight.
Well, I'm not really tuning in. I just told Corinne that update you on the situation.
Yeah.
I'm getting down here in New Orleans, getting ready to go to the thing tomorrow.
So what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Everything's okay?
Everything's okay. I'm just out of it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you going? You're talking about from the car accident from last week?
Not from the from the fire accident that we had, and then my other cousin and stuff.
Oh, right.
So the double thing.
Yeah, sending love your way. Yeah.
But I let you get back to the show because I know it's different topic tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about health, fitness, beauty, nutrition, fatigue, stress, everything. And if anybody wants to call in and ask some questions before we get out of here, because we're almost down to the 10 o'clock hour PST. But if you have any questions for these ladies, don't hesitate to give us a call at 323-247-7443. Trey, it's always good to hear from you.
All right.
Thank you for calling. Holla. Wow. Okay. So you said Mimi Kirk. Are there any other role models that you have, or people that you both can suggest that we can learn from? If people are ready to take some steps in the right direction and they still need more support, are there some DVDs you love? Are there some books that you really say, check this out because there's a wealth of information in here. It can get you going, or anything that can be helpful to the listeners?
God, I didn't hear you.
I know I got mine,
I have so many. It's hard to really if you need me to talk.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I would say if it's specifically about nutrition, one thing that's helped me is going to the bookstore and just being in the nutrition section. There's some amazing books, and specifically I would look more into plant-based nutrition, because otherwise you get into a whole bunch of the diets and all that kind of stuff that are not necessarily going to help you create balance. There's so many amazing books out there. I'm kind of on a vegan kick because I'm transitioning to vegan, so I have a lot of that stuff in my head. There's some really great websites as well. I don't know.
Which websites do you visit? Yeah.
I've actually been looking at veganbodybuilding.com.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that's been really helpful. And the Green Smoothie Girl, that she's been really helpful as well. GreenSmoothieGirl.com.
Not familiar, but okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch, but if you just start typing that in, then you get a whole bunch more amazing
people out there.
Yeah, and there's so many great ebooks online as well that's
Absolutely.
kind of what I've been doing more than.
And it's
Beautiful.
so smart. It's so smart if this is something that interests you to really look at everything out there and make your own decisions for what appeals and what is good for you, because there's so many different things, and it's nice to just not narrow in on one person or one diet and just see everything out there and try to incorporate all the good parts.
I agree. Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Are they still on the line? You're listening to Perspectives Corner with Rhona Bennett. Who's there?
Hi, good evening. This is Curtis Bowden from D.C.
Curtis, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I was trying to break my neck to get a call in because this is something I follow all the time. Veganism, vegetarianism.
Really?
I've always liked to eat healthy, but I'm a person who loves variety. And as a male, you want to maintain your weight. I see a lot of women in their later years look great who are vegans. They have this great diet. They look great. But as a male, I know there are great benefits as well, but, as a male, you don't want to be so small. So, what advice would you give to someone like me? I'm like in my mid-30s. I'm thinking about, going, vegetarian, maybe vegan one day.
Yeah.
Because I think the health benefits are,
tremendous.
They're the best. Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to know what kind of advice you can give someone like me. I try to follow people, even males, on social media who are vegan, vegetarian, but sometimes I don't even believe them. So, okay, are they really vegan? How do they maintain that weight, the muscle, So
Yes.
So.
I'll chime in and just say a couple things. There are two people that I know who are maintaining size, and they're vegan. And I know they're vegan for real. Thomas Tadlock, you can find him on Facebook. He's also at veganbodybuilder.com. What is it?
He's veganbodyrevolution.com and Thomas Tadlock. He's got a few different sites. If you just type in Thomas Tadlock, you'll be able to get to him.
Type in his name in Google. Check out Thomas Tadlock. He was a world-renowned bodybuilder back in the day, and then when he went vegan, he lost all his weight, and he had to figure out how to regain it. Now, mind you, he is a bodybuilder, so he's going to eat a lot more food than maybe your average person to maintain size. However, I do find that if people can eat frequently, they will maintain the correct size for their body. And Thomas is an excellent person to ask these questions because he is a male who did go vegan from a very bulky size and has maintained a nice size. And you know who else is a vegan that is killer? Cindy's husband, Glenn Braggs.
Oh, yeah, I saw your post on Facebook. Yeah, I forgot
Glenn
about that.
Braggs is off the freaking chain, man. Check him out. Glenn's a really great guy. I'm sure he would be more than happy to answer some questions for you if you dropped a line in his box. And he would help you understand how he eats, because Cindy's, he's very regimented, how he eats, what he's eating. And just see between those two men in particular, I'm sure they will feed you a wealth of other people in this community that can not only give you more information, but that you can grab from whatever you need that works for you and create your own vegan lifestyle, So those two guys I would stand behind easily and just say reach out to them and they can help push you in other, point you in other directions.
And really educate yourself, because if you do make the switch, it will be hard and you're not going to be able to keep that size. You're going to have to learn what foods are going to give you the nutrients that you need. How do you get enough of all the nutrients that you need? A lot of times when people are going vegetarian or going vegan, they're eating a lot of one or two types of foods, and they're missing a lot of nutrients that they need. So you want to make sure that you're doing it right.
Yeah, get the balance you need.
It's a lot of trial
and that's
and error.
my fear because I like variety, and I don't want to eat one or two types of foods. I want to get all my nutrients. I don't want my skin to get dry. And, I see some people who are vegetarian or vegan, and I don't think they supplement properly because sometimes it has adverse effects. They don't look good.
Yeah.
They look bad, and then there are people like you who look great. So
I don't know who you're talking about, but We thank you. What were you going to say, Jen?
I was going to say, you know, those vegetarians and vegans that are not looking so good, they're probably eating a lot of processed, refined foods as opposed to whole plant-based foods.
Because you know what? Go ahead.
Well, I think Mother Earth gives us everything that we need. So if you trust that and you learn of the abundance that there is, there's a ton of stuff to eat that doesn't come in a box or a package that we'll do it for you. Yeah.
Because you know what? I think a huge misconception, too, is that when someone says vegan, all of a sudden you think they're healthy. There are some unhealthy vegans out there.
Yeah.
They are eating their processed stuff just like everybody else. So like Jen is saying, it's so important that we get back to the raw, whole foods. Fruits, vegetables, you can't go wrong. And I think that people also don't know that there's a lot of protein. Because a lot of people, that's one of the things I hear most is that, well, how am I going to get my protein? Because everybody thinks you get it from meat. But, I mean, there's so many ways you can get proteins from grains, nuts, legumes, even the green leafy vegetables. Even though they don't seem bulky, they come with a lot of protein. And they have the building blocks in them for protein in the body. So education is key. And now we live in the information age where it's just at our fingertips. We just put in what you want to know, and it just kind of pops up and gives you everything you need. But those two guys in particular, I know, are maintaining a vegan diet and maintaining size. Yeah. So you could get some really good information from them.
Well, thank you, ladies. It was a pleasure. You have a good night. I appreciate you.
Thank you for calling. Hey. Love it. Shamika. Closing words for us at Perspectives Corner. Anything you want us to walk away with?
I've just had a lot of fun here, actually, tonight. Yay! So I enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed having you. Thank you so much. You. And if I can, before we leave Shamika, frosting. Shamika MD. She did not necessarily want to promote her product, but I was like, did you bring some frosting? Because I need to put it. This product is so wonderful. It smells amazing. Smells amazing. And everything that's in here, Shamika, is all natural?
Yes, it's all natural. It's a moisturizer, basically, an all-natural moisturizer made of whipped shea butter, cocoa butter, jojoba oil. It's really, really moisturizing. There's no water in it. Oh, thank you. There's no water, so it's full 100% product, and it's just really good for you.
It really is. And I'm just going to read a few ingredients. And when you read the first ingredients, that's like what's really in the stuff, right? Organic, raw, unrefined. What is that? Butyl something. Shea butter. Yes. That's the original name of shea butter?
Yes.
Wow. Organic Theobroma cacao. That's the cocoa or cacao? Okay. I mean, this is like the real deal. Seed butter, organic. I can't even read some of the stuff, but the organic name for jojoba oil, and prunes, and sweet almond, and rice even. Whole powder. Wow.
Rice powder. In the Ayurvedic tradition, it's very good for the skin. Like this actually is really good for eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis. I don't even say that, but a lot of people who have those use it. So it's a lot of good ingredients. Whether this product or any other product with good ingredients, it's good for you.
No parabens, no petroleum, no mineral oil, no artificial preservatives, no artificial colors. And so many no-no-nos.
Yes.
Excellent product. Where can they find this?
Thank you. You can find it on my website, which is ShamikaMDHerbs.com. I'll have to spell it.
Yes.
KSHAM as in Mary, ICAMD Herbs, which is HERBS.com.
ShamikaMDHerbs.com. Yes. All the best to you, lady.
Thank you.
Doing great work.
Thank
Jennifer, what message would you like to leave for the listeners here at Perspectives Corner?
On the topic being eating for beauty.
Yes.
Eating, what led me to that really is balance. I see balance as beauty. I see loving yourself as beauty. And loving yourself from the inside out. And I'm telling you, when you make simple changes and you love yourself and you give your body what it needs, and you make conscious choices about what you put in your body, it shows. I'm telling you, within a few days, people will tell you, your skin is glowing. Mm-hmm. You look so good. You look so happy. Like that, you actually radiate happiness. That's what people see, and that's what the beauty is. So, take it on.
Yes. Give life to life, folks. Thank you, Jennifer. Life to life. If you eat living foods, think about that. You're giving life to life. And when I think about it like that, it's like, oh, that's why I want to eat that. Why would I feed something dead to a living body? I mean, we can, but if you're really looking for vibrant health and next level energy and next level clarity, give life to life. And then you'll always see beauty in that.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I got to always remember to tell you, my books are out. Hey. God Motivation, How to Stay Motivated. You can check it out at RhonaBennett.com. Oh, Richard's like, get it over in the right camera, okay. God Motivation, How to Stay Motivated. And also my second mini book, Find and Pursue Your Passion, Even with a Regular Job. These books are designed for the now generation. I know that everybody's on the go. We're instant gratification culture. Some of us don't feel like we have time to sit down and read that 200-page book. So I tried to trim the fat, if you will, and give you the lean version of what I think will really help you take your stuff to the next level. Check these books out at RhonaBennett.com. RhonaBennett. And also check me out on my YouTube channel. Come visit me at Twitter. My Twitter handle is Miss R&B, MISSR, the letter N and B. Say what's up. I'm always running my mouth. I would love to connect with you, and I would love to have you back here. I think, am I going to be back next week? I might miss you guys. I'm going out of town. Myself and the ladies of In Vogue, we're going back out on the road for the month of February. We're going to be visiting Columbus, Ohio on the 8th. We'll be in West Virginia for the 9th and 10th. We're also going to be in Seattle for the 14th through the 17th, I think at Jazz Alley. Come check us out. And we're also going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, February 28th. Come and check us out. If you need to hear those dates again, visit me at RhonaBennett.com. So until next time, live well. Take care.
Star. Wish I could pause you like DVR and rewind to all my favorite parts to see your smile when I hit play. You graced the cover of a magazine, but you declined the opportunity. Cause you so different, the way you living is paving a new Cause way. There's no doubting, I'm all about it. No more searching, love, I found it. Ended up with my heart and soul. About time that you know. If you just believe and see like I see, you'll know that the world is yours to own. Just follow my lead beyond material things. It's time to let you know you're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. You're better than beautiful. Better than beautiful. Yo, I've never met anyone as special. Let me take your hand and kiss that arm. I'll show you the good guy.
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
We be walking around the mall with two shakes. She like my style, my swag, and my similes. Let's just keep on kissing, never stop, like infinity. I mean, physically, you off the charts, boo. You little thief, you stole my heart, boo.